Look now, the men come back spattered with blood, and when he asks where Bacchus is, they say Bacchus they did not see. But this man here, his comrade and his acolyte, we seized, and hand over a Meonian, his arms bound behind his back, a follower of the god. Pentheus, with terrible anger in his eyes, glared at the man, and hardly could delay his punishment. Before you die, he cried, and dying, give a lesson to the rest. Tell me your name, your family, your country, and why you practice this new cult of yours. He answered undismayed, my name's Achates. Meonia is my country, and my parents were humble folk. My father left me no acres for sturdy steers to turn and till, no woolly sheep, no flocks, no herds at all. He was poor too. He used to lure and catch fish with his lines and hooks, and with his rod drew them, leaping, to land. That skill of his was all his fortune. When he passed it on, you are my heir, successor to my craft, he said. Receive my wealth and my estate. And when he died, he left me nothing but the waters. That is all that I can call my heritage. Soon after, to escape being stuck forever on the selfsame rocks, I learnt as well the art of helmsmanship. My eyes studied the stars, the rainy goat, Tagati, the Hyads and the bear, harbors and havens too, and the wind's homes. One day, making for Delos, I put in to Chios. We rowed shrewdly to the shore, a light leap, and I stood on the wet sand. We spent the night there. In the first red glow of dawn I rose and sent my men for water, along a track that led them to a spring. I myself climbed a knoll and gazed around to judge the promise of the wind, then called my shipmates, and so back to board the ship. Opheltes in the lead, crying, here we are, brought to the beach a prize, or so he thought, discovered in this lonely spot a boy as pretty as a girl. He seemed to reel, half dazed with wine and sleep, and almost failed to follow along. I gazed at his attire, his face, his bearing. Everything I saw seemed more than mortal. I felt sure of it, and said to my shipmates, what deity is in that frame? I'm doubtful, but for sure some deity is there. Whoever you are, be gracious, bless our laborers, and forgive these fellows. Spare your prayers for us, said Dictys. No man nimbler to swarm up right to the highest yard, and slide back down the stays. And Libys backed him, and Melanthus, our fair-haired prowman, and Alcimedon, Opopius too, who called the rowers time to pull or pause, and kept their spirits up, and all the others to a man, so blind is greed for booty. No, I cried, that freight is holy. Never shall I let my ship commit such sacrilege. I'm master here. I stood to block the gangway. Lycabas, of all the crew the boldest, was incensed. He had been banished from a Tuscan town, exiled for a foul murder. As I stood, he seized me by the throat and would have thrown me overboard had I not, half concussed, clung to a rescuing rope. That godless group applauded him and cheered him. Then at last Bacchus, for it was he, aroused no doubt from slumber by the shouting, and his wits regathered from the wine, cried, what's this noise? What are you doing? How did I come here? Where do you mean to take me? Have no fear, said Proreus. Name the port you wish to reach. You shall be landed at the place you choose. Naxos, said Bacchus, set your course to Naxos. That is my home. That land will welcome you. Then by the sea and every god they swore, those swindling rogues, it should be so, and bade me get the painted vessel under sail. Naxos lay on the right, and for the right I set my canvas. Fool, what are you doing? Opheltes said. What lunacy is this? Steer to the left. And every man of them supported him. They made their meaning clear by nods and winks, and some by whispers. I was staggered. Someone else shall take the helm, I said. I'd not let my skill serve their crime. All the crew cursed me. So you think our whole safety, Ithalian cried, depends on you? He strode and took my duty at the helm, and turning course from Naxos, steered away. Then the god, making sport of them as if he'd only just perceived their treachery, gazed from the curving poop across the sea, and seemed in tears and said, That's not the shore you promised me, that's not the shore I want. What glory can you gain if you strong men cheat a small boy, so many against one? I had been long in tears. The godless gang laughed at my tears and rode on hastily. Now, by that God himself, for there's no God closer than he, I swear I tell what's true as past belief. The ship stood still upon the sea as fixed as in dry dock. The crew, bewildered, rowed with dogged strokes, and spread the sails, twin means to make her move.